All right, welcome to the show with Joe. I'm Joe, and I will be talking about UFC 250. And this was an awesome card. No matter what anybody says to you, UFC fans really like this card. And this is how it started. Look at this. That's so sick. That's the coolest way to possibly start a show. Now, so much happened during this that I would love to show you. I'm just going to talk about all the talking points. So, Sean Strickland. Hold on. So to start things off, before UFC even started, Sean Strickland has been making a lot of political comments against Donald Trump lately, but he's kind of just an all-around badass in general. It was an invite-only event, and Dana White confirmed that Sean was not basically invited to it. So what does Sean do? Sean sneaks in, and there's no way anything happens, right? He's just allowed to stay there if he's got extra tickets, right?
Allah zabgaba.
I cannot believe that, bro.
How the fuck y'all gonna lock up the middleweight chick?
Pretty sure I didn't break them all. Like, I'm pretty sure. But I'm about to go to jail.
So Sean got arrested for disorderly conduct. He's currently the middleweight champion in the UFC, which makes it 10 times funnier. What else happened this night? Oh, yeah. Hokit is an up-and-coming fighter who's pretty good. He had a nice win, which we'll get to in a bit. He said after you win your fight, you get an interview with Joe Rogan, and he ended it with saying Michelle Obama is a man, and all those news outlets really hated that. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And then this is an interesting thing that also happened right before the event. Daniel Cormier, he's a Hall of Fame UFC fighter who's currently a commentator. Like, his voice is just synonymous with the UFC commentating. But before the fight, he posted this and then deleted it like a pussy. Sorry, I gotta say it that way because he does this all the time. He does this with John Jones stuff too. He'll say something bad about John Jones. If you know UFC, they had a whole thing where they were supposed to fight, they didn't fight, they fought, so he talks a lot of shit there. But Daniel Cormier says, here, let's make it big. He says, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for bringing this to light. However, I refuse to stay silent. The UFC is a sport that I am deeply passionate about, and I will not tolerate this type of inside behavior. Shame on anyone trying to ruin this beautiful event. So they're saying now that his Eric Trump messaged Daniel Cormier, but they're saying Eric Trump's account got hacked. And there's a lot of funny memes coming from this. If you get bored, look it up. There's a really funny one with Eli Manning. But Eric Trump messages Daniel Cormier and says, hey, Daniel, I'm going to be attending UFC 250 tomorrow. Saw you were casting. Hope to see you there. And Daniel says, yo, Eric, didn't expect a DM from you. Excited to meet you and the family. Much love, brother. And then Eric says, anything you can tell me about the fighters tomorrow? Who you got winning? You placed any bets? And then Daniel says, nah, I'm actually not allowed to bet on any of the cards or anything. Then Eric says, are any of the fighters injured that you know of? And then Daniel says, I'm not quite sure why you're asking me this, but I think they're all in good shape. And then Eric says, I'll cut to the chase. Are any of the fights tomorrow rigged? I've been eyeing the Lopes fight, and I think an upset would be too unrealistic. Money. So pretty cool. And then Daniel posts this. So a little drama before the event even happens. There's another picture of Sean getting carried out. He seems like a fun guy. I don't know. He's not wearing shoes, though. I guess I just assume all UFC fighters just never wear shoes. I don't have a picture of it because it was so boring, but the dude nobody invited meme Why is Tyson Fury getting a whole walkout? So randomly between fights, Tyson Fury walks out. He just like he like gets out and he stands in front of the White House just like looking on the fans. And Tyson Fury is a boxer. He's like the biggest boxer in the world. Looks out and no one recognizes him. And then he does this like super awkward walkout. And he comes down to do an announcement. I think it had something to do with like Dana White having like some kind of boxing circuit type deal that he was going to be a part of, like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury totally botched it and it made no sense and everyone was very confused why he was there. Then there was I don't know what this is actually, but Conor McGregor is having a fight on July 11th with Max Holloway. And there was an interview afterwards where Conor McGregor is basically all coked up talking to Max Holloway and Joe Rogan. And I don't know what this is, but let's see what it is, because Conor McGregor is always something interesting.
How do you think you would beat Ilya Top Toro? Or grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding-dong of a thing he is, yeah? I'm fucking Spanish. I'm in Marbella, bro, yeah? I'm in Marbella at the bare knuckle stall and let's see what's what. We'll bounce in the yoke, have a bare knuckle. You little fool, I'll cave your head in. You little short-ass tick, I'll box your jaw in. On site. I'm in Marbella, Spain, yeah? I'm in Marbella, Spain, October 12th at the bare knuckle. Stall it, bro, yeah? See what happens here. See what happens here when you cross me, bro. You come across me.
Yeah, so Conor McGregor is guilty of things overseas that are pretty bad. He's definitely been on drugs for a while. He was supposed to fight Michael Chandler. That never happened because of probably drug use and a suspension. So now he's going to come back and fight Max Holloway. So that's Conor McGregor. Yes, Armin. I can't say his name. I don't even want to try. I thought he was a fighter, and I didn't know fighters could bet on other fighters. But he bet on Justin Gaethje winning the main event. Bet $1 million, and he actually ended up winning $4 million, which is pretty cool. Here's a fun thing. Someone made this. I like this a lot. The first fight of the night was Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. And Joe Rogan called him Diego Garcia when he won, which is hilarious. So someone made a combination of both of their faces together, which is, that made me laugh. So what's next? Yes. Okay, so diving deeper into the fights here. Every fight was a knockout. Okay, so Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. I was right. Diego Lopez knocked him out. Nickel versus Dacus. Nickel knocked him out. That's Trump's favorite fighter, which is funny. Chandler versus Ruffy. Chandler looked old as shit, and Ruffy fucked him up. Hook kick versus Lewis was embarrassing. Lewis is old, and I don't know if it was because he was outside or not, but Derek Lewis looked like he was heavily labored. And he barely threw a punch. I think at one point it was like 75 punches for Hokit, the guy that said the Michelle Obama thing, versus like 2 landed punches for Derek Lewis. Pretty bad. O'Malley had a nice knockout, and then that brings us to Gane. Now, people do not like Gane. It was Cyril Gane who had poked Tom Aspinall in the eye, and Tom hasn't fought since. And that's like a normal thing for the UFC, so a lot of people are giving both of them shit. Cyril Gane for the eye poking because it's happened multiple times and being a dirty fighter. And Tom Aspinall for like not fighting because of this for like over a year now at this point. He was also out for like 2 years because of his leg before that. But Gane ends up beating Alex Pereira for the heavyweight title. And that would have been historical for Pereira because he would have been the first 3 belt holder in like 3 different divisions, which is insane. So the meme for Cyril Gane was elbows to the back of the head or eye pokes. He didn't do the eye pokes, but they were saying that Gane had Pereira on the ground and he was elbowing the back of his head, which is illegal. and the ref didn't say anything about it. But Ciryl Gane won. I mean, I think he looked like the better fighter the whole time, so people just nitpicking there. Then we get to the Gaethje-Ilia Topuria fight. So this fight was crazy, and here's Ilia Topuria after. Now, what does this mean? Why is there a rose in front of his face? This is Ilia Topuria. Let's do a before after, because we need to see that for reference. Here's what Ilia normally looks like. Here's what Ilia normally looks like. Here's what he looked like after. I believe there is a confirmed orbital break here. I think that is his actual cheekbone sticking out of his face on one of these sides here. That's a broken nose, and then broken ribs, I believe, is going to be on the docket for him. But this picture is because before the fight, Ilia Topuria was undefeated, and he was 16-0, and he posted a picture on his social media of him kissing a flower and placing it on a casket, and the face was Justin Gaethje, just like this. So that is, I mean, not only that, he has before all of his fights, he was having a celebratory dinner. So he would do his weigh-ins, and then he would celebrate the night before his actual fight, where he was scheduled to, like, he thinks he would win, right? So he's doing a celebration before instead of after. And it just was the ultimate. I mean, a lot of people are saying this is the best fight they've ever seen live. I think, honestly, that the Israel Adesanya fight versus Alex Pereira was the ultimate comeback win for him. So yeah, he changed his social media to 17-1, or sorry, 18-0 instead of 17-1. So they're saying change it back now because Ilia lost really badly. And between the third and fourth round, because it was specifically D.C., not Daniel Cormier, Washington, D.C., any other state in any other jurisdiction, apparently, if a doctor comes into the ring and says they can't fight, then the fight's over. Like, you got to protect the fighter. But in D.C., the ref apparently can overrule the doctor if the fighter is willing to fight. So by the third round, Ilia was really messed up. And by the fourth round, I mean, he couldn't see out of either of his eyes. And this right here is the nail in the coffin for Ilia. This was like the last second of the fourth, and this is what ultimately ended the fight. He was already hurting, obviously, but watch how hard Justin Gaethje slams into his ribs with his knee.
Bad. By the way he got up to go back to his stool, you could tell that Ilia was very hurt.
And you remember back in the day when Justin Gaethje first won the...
Bad. By the way he got up to go back...
Oh, man. That doesn't look like a lot there, but watch his ribs go in. Ilia couldn't stand up, and Justin he was on top of him, like in the front, and then Justin stands up and then slams his body.
By the way he got...
That is broken 100%. One more time.
By the way he got up to go back to his stool, you could tell that Ilia was very...
Oh, man, that was rough. Justin Gaethje also almost broke his neck doing this. He does this thing where he does a backflip off the top belt, or off the top of this. And he miscalculated, and then he bounced back and then landed on his neck for like a second roll, and it was not pretty. But here's Ilia. Okay, so after the fight, even if you're knocked out, you're gonna get the other guy's gonna get his hand raised, but Ilia couldn't even stand up to do that. He just was like face down in his corner on a stool. And here's him sneaking out of the ring when it's over. So yeah, it was just the ultimate beatdown, the biggest win of Justin's career. I mean, he wins a title for the first time officially. I mean, he had interim titles, but this is just straight up all Justin and his hard punches. But yeah, so UFC 250, that was a fun one. And I'm just going to leave you with this awesome, maybe not awesome, but pretty hilarious Derek Lewis interview at the end of, it may have been before. Derek Lewis gets a medal for passing 75 drug tests and told he's an inspiration for kids. Responds in the most Derek Lewis way possible. Derek Lewis is a character. If you ever get bored, just look up like clips of him in his interviews. They're really funny. But yeah, this has been the show with Joe. UFC 250 was dope, and catch you later.
Much, Derek, on behalf of the White House, President Trump, the Office of National Drug Control Policy, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I can't say it enough for choosing to remain drug-free. That's incredible. You're a real example for children all over the world and in the United States especially. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Here's your little pen. You forgot your jacket, though, man.
There you go.
You forgot my jacket.
Well, we've got this beautiful pin for you right here. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you from the Office of National.
What was that? Who said I've been clean all this time? I told y'all. I don't got nothing against drugs, but, you know, marijuana every now and then help me out. But shit, if y'all don't give me a medal, I appreciate it.
She said you're an example to children all around the world.
Man, I'm going to tell, nah. I would say fuck them kids, but nah, I ain't going to do that. But
yeah, that sounds
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.